Hello, I'm Min, a studio media activist and a member of Marxist Socialism. On January 19th, at dawn, after Yoon Suk-yeol's detention was confirmed, the far-right attacked the Seoul Western District Court and started rioting. They beat the police and the journalists, destroyed buildings, and tried to take over the data servers at the court. Some journalists from major media were lynched, and they tried to steal the memory card from the camera. The far-right riot is a continuation of the class struggle surrounding the coup d'etat. The riot resulted from Yoon Suk-yeol and People Power Party's relentless organizing of far-right mass actions. Yoon has been calling the masses who gathered in front of the presidential residence patriotic citizens and inciting them, saying, "I fight to the end." The People Power Party has consistently supported and defended Yoon's coup d'etat. Importantly, this far-right riot did not happen by accident. It's the result of a long and steady growth of the far-right forces. The South Korea's far-right was traditionally comprised of older generations, but it has been gaining strength by aligning itself with the men of the 20s and 30s. In fact, it has been reported that more than half of the 90 people arrested in the Seoul Western District Court riot were 20s and 30s, which is a dangerous sign that they have reached a point where they can physically demonstrate significant force. The rise of the young far-right is a result of despair that South Korean capitalism has cultivated in the youth. As the lowest birth rate and highest suicide rate reveal, and as trade and technology wars intensify the competition of international capitals, capitalists have forced people more to become irregular workers, working longer hours for lower wages for more profit. Unemployment and inequality, anxiety and fear, which have become chronic in this capitalist crisis, are at the root of the rise of far-right. And like the far-right that is spreading in other countries, such as the United States, Argentina, Italy, and Germany, they attack women, migrant workers, LGBT people, people with disabilities, and organized workers, blaming minorities for the crisis. In South Korea, in particular, the far-right has exploded thanks to the massive hypocrisy and deception of the Moon Jae-in government of Democratic Party of Korea. When Moon came to power in 2017, he promised that opportunities would be equal, the process would be fair, and the outcome would be just. But as the scandal of Cho-guk, who is former Minister of Justice, has demonstrated, Moon government's 5 years in office have been neither equal, fair, nor just. It has stolen the dreams of young people by enriching asset owners through unprecedented real estate price increases, and it didn't keep its promise of regularizing irregular workers in the public sectors and increasing the minimum wage. Rather, it neutralized the shortening of working hours by allowing special overtime working. Anti-feminism is a very important value for the far-right youth, which is also a result of the hypocritical feminism of the Democratic Party. The gender pay gap hasn't improved at all under the Moon Jae-in government. The Democratic Party also came to power under the banner of feminism while covering up the sexual assault perpetrators such as Park Won-soon, who is the former city mayor of Seoul, and attacking the victims. Far from making life more stable and equal for both men and women and minority workers, the Democratic Party-style feminism, filled with hypocrisy, has been unable to provide any hegemony over young men, and instead has provided a fuel for anti-feminist agitation of the far right. Antitrust towards the Moon Jae-in government led to the Yoon Suk-yeol government. The far right grew not because Moon Jae-in governments created an equal, fair, and just world, but because all the promises it has done were nothing more than lies. The low participation rate of men in the 20s and 30s in public protest against Yoon Suk-yeol, which is now tangible and also statistical, is directly related to their distrust of the new Democratic Party government. Therefore, the only way to curb the growth of the far right is a working class struggle that is completely independent of the Democratic Party. Only a movement based on class consciousness and revolutionary feminism that end misogyny and transphobia for all women and minorities, that can guarantee equal and dignified lives for all people, can defeat the far right. The working class have already shown that they can. Millions took to the streets to demand the impeachment and imprisonment of Yoon Suk-yeol and won important struggles in Namtaeryong and Hangangjeon already. The wave of solidarity towards the struggle of people with disabilities, of irregular shipbuilding workers, of the Sejong Hotel, layoff the workers, and of the teacher Jiebok, who are fighting against the sexual violence in school, All of this is showing the potential for unprecedented expansion of the scale and subjects of the class struggle. The people in the streets fighting against inequality and hatred already know that now is not the time to wait for the Constitutional Court's ruling. Now is time for organized workers to lead the way. Let's organize the site together with a general strike organizing network. And let's say to our people in the streets, let's join the democratic unions and fight together. Let's stop work together. Take annual leave, leave work early, and let's gather in the streets to organize a social general strike. With that power, let's crush all the far-right forces and open a new world. 투쟁!